The April 25th, 2012 meeting of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Antelli? Here. Chairman Gamina?
Here.
Mr. Patterson? Here. Mr. Tucciarello? Here. Mr. Wilcox?
Here. Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
There's not.
Is there anyone present who is not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee at this time? The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the March 28, 2012 minutes before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Mr. Clerk.
Referral 12-148, authorizing.
Moved by Legislator Tucciarello, seconded by Legislator Antelli. Is there any discussion on the item? Legislator Tucciarello.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, how many fueling agreements do we have like this one, and also fueling farms that may be similar?
Through the chair, Lieutenant Phelps, Sheriff of Flynn's administration. We have two fuel agreements with the town of Penfield, one with the school system, one with the town highway. And we have one with the Fairport schools on A Route Road. We have another one with the Rush Henrietta schools down at Lehigh Station near B-Zone substation. We have another one on the west side by Churchville Child schools and one in Brockport.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, is there a need for two of these agreements in Penfield?
Through the chair, depending on the time of day, that the deputies refuel their cars at the end of their shifts. The shifts end at 6 a.m., 2 p.m., and $2,200 at 10 p.m. Having a second location in Penfield, when 5 Mile Line, if you're familiar with it, gets pretty backed up, you end up having cars tied up in the center of the town. Having the ability to go to North Penfield where there's less traffic keeps the car in service for 911 calls. It also acts as a redundant system for security issues in the event that a pump goes down, which does happen on occasion. You have a backup pump to have access for the cars to get to. Like what happens, snow emergencies, things of that nature, you have a safety pump. The cost is the same, so there is no added expense on our behalf to have two of them.
Thank you very much.
Legislator Patterson.
Thank you. Through the chair, if there's no added expense, why are we paying 10 cents more per gallon than the contracted state price?
We have, through the chair, we have the same contract with all the agencies. The agency that we are contracted with establishes a fuel cost. They maintain all the upkeep, which is a cost benefit for us. So the cost of bringing in trucks, service charges, maintenance, which is pretty frequent. That 10-cent charge is common for any secondary agency to have a contract like this. You pay a little bit more for that.
Through the chair, is that a state requirement? Is that somewhere in statute? Or?
I don't know that it's in statute, but it has been a long-time practice with the county to operate this way.
And through the chair, why 10 cents? Why not 5 cents?
Through the chair, I don't have the answer to that. That's negotiated by our budget and finance, and these particular rates, I can tell you, have been in place for quite a while.
Just a comment. My concern here is that I'm happy that our deputies can stay on station longer. I'm happy that they're forward deployed in providing security and safety to the residents of our suburban communities. We certainly need them there. But at the same time, those communities are definitely benefiting by having those deputies there. I'm at a loss to understand why we should be paying a premium on fuel to anyone. I mean, this is a service. We're providing it. They're receiving the service. It keeps them safe. I don't see why this just isn't a wash.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Tucciarello.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, if we had to build our own fuel farms in Penfield and Fairport, Rush Henrietta, Churchville Chili, Brockport, do we have any idea what the cost per gallon would be to build and operate those fuel farms? Would it be more than 10 cents per gallon? Through you, Mr. Chair.
Through the chair, Scott Adair, Director of Finance. The exact dollar amount of building a fuel farm, I don't have that number, but I do know that we have gone through negotiation processes with each of the municipalities and agreed that effectively the best rate that we can do with them, to respond a little bit to Legislator Patterson's comment as well, notifying the district, the school districts and the towns are well aware of the benefit of having a sheriff's car, I'll just call it, roll through their parking lots at various times during the day from a security purpose is a benefit to them as well. And they've reduced the cost of what it would be to reimburse them for the maintaining and the building of the infrastructure of a fueling station to negotiate that down to the 10-cent per gallon that we pay currently.
Through you, Mr. Chair, is there any place within Monroe County that the Monroe County Sheriff's Department isn't allowed to roll or to patrol or to service?
Through the chair, and I only speak to this, I'll speak to this firsthand. In the Rush Henrietta fueling station is all behind locked gates where the buses are kept. And Perrington is also, I'm being told, which allows them access into those facilities, which, as everybody is well aware of, the majority in a bus garage of the most criminal activity would be against the buses, and since the sheriff's cars can actually go through those particular gated areas, assist in being able to, I'll just say, drive through the parking lot at the point in time when they're refueling to deter any potential physical harm to the assets of the school district at that point in time. And I would assume that it would be similar cases with all the other fueling stations.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Legislator Wilcox.
Thank you. Through the chair, I was wondering if someone in the administration might be able to tell me how many gallons of fuel we anticipate purchasing in this manner.
Through the chair, that actual gallon amount I don't have. I know that the total amount budgeted for in the Sheriff's Department regarding fuel costs is about $670,000 for 2012.
670,000. I'm not clear on one point. Is all the gas we purchase, all the fuel we purchase, is that all at this additional premium? In other words, every gallon of gasoline the Sheriff Department purchases, is it all purchased at 10 cents per gallon above state cost?
Through the chair, at these fueling facilities in the towns and the school districts, yes. If they fuel at our own pump or our own fuel farms, there is no 10-cent premium on that.
Okay, so thank you. Then just to follow up, do we have any divide between how many, in terms of that $670,000 that's budgeted? Do we have any idea how much of that is allocated for our own fueling stations? Or is that in it? I guess I apologize. I should let you answer the question. But is that in it? Maybe we don't purchase it. Maybe it's an interdepartmental charge. I'm not sure. How does that work?
Through the chair, the charge for using our own fueling stations would be an interdepartmental charge. Off the top of my head, I don't know the dollar amount that's allocated to each of the different contracts with the other municipalities' fueling stations, but we can get that to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Legislator Patterson.
Through the chair, are all the municipalities paying the same rate for fuel, or is it graduated based upon your usage?
To the chair, that's a difficult question to answer because I don't necessarily know how all the other municipalities procure their fuel, but my gut feeling is that the state contract is used predominantly by all municipalities in the fueling area. So I would say that the cost for fuel is relatively consistent depending on the time of the year when they're purchasing it.
Okay. And just a passing comment, my earlier questions were not related to whether or not it would be cheaper for us to build our own fueling stations in those locations. Obviously it wouldn't be. It was really directed more towards the point that these are dollars, even though it is 10 cents, but these are dollars that could be better used in actually purchasing fuel for our road patrols to better support the safety and security of those communities. we are one large community, even though we draw these lines and elect different people from different places for different purposes. And I want them to be safe as much as anybody else would be. But I really have a hard time understanding why we should be paying a cost above the actual cost to provide a service to a community. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing that there's no other discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries.
Referral 12-149, authorize an intermunicipal agreement.
Moved by legislator Antelli, seconded by legislator Tucciarello. Is there any discussion? Seeing that there's no discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Item carries.
Referral 12-152, authorize an intermunicipal.
Item moved by legislator Tucciarello and seconded by legislator Antelli. Any discussion on the item? Seeing that there's no discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries.
Referral 12-158,
Moved by legislator Antelli, seconded by legislator Tucciarello. Any discussion on the item? Legislator Wilcox.
Just a quick question through you, Chairman, Mr. Chairman. I was wondering, it says here what the construction costs are anticipated being, and then it also has this is an authorization to advertise for bids. Is it typical that we actually say what the costs are going to be, or that we anticipate the costs to be when we put something out to bid? I mean, I apologize if I'm misinterpreting the referral, so if someone could clarify for me.
Through the chair. You just broke the microphone. Yes, we typically do show, just for your information, what the current estimated cost is for construction. Contractors usually know what the estimated cost is, engineer's estimate. It doesn't really bear witness on what they bid. They got to competitively bid if they want to get the project, so it doesn't really come to fruition, them knowing that. They have an idea anyways, just they a lot of places from the standpoint of how much money we have in the CIP or how much money is in the Federal Transportation Improvement Program.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries.
Referral 12-163, acceptance of.
Moved by legislator Tucciarello and seconded by legislator Antelli. Is there any discussion? Legislator Patterson.
Just a comment, I just want to say that it's wonderful to see that there's an additional $50,000 that has been restored to assist the city in providing services to our community and to some of our most challenged and easily damaged community members. It is wonderful to see that we are addressing this issue in a positive manner.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Is there any unfinished business to come before the committee? There being no unfinished business, the April 25th meeting of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting will be Wednesday, May 23rd at 5:30.